On November 24, 1971, a cold, rainy night at Portland International Airport, a man bought a one-way ticket to Seattle. He paid in cash and gave the name Dan Cooper. We know him as DB Cooper, thanks to a media mix-up. He looked like a businessman, mid-40s, dark suit, black tie, mother-of-pearl tie clip, and a black attaché case. He blended in perfectly, polite and calm, ordering a bourbon and soda before takeoff. He sat in seat 18C, unnoticed by the other passengers. The flight was a short hop from Portland to Seattle, just 30 minutes. As the plane climbed into the stormy sky, everything seemed routine. But Cooper was about to change history. He watched flight attendant Florence Schaffner, waiting for the right moment. He wasn't nervous, he was methodical. The weather, the aircraft, the flight path, it all seemed part of his plan. He was about to hijack a commercial airliner, not with violence but with quiet confidence and a handwritten note. The legend of DB Cooper was about to be born, high above the Pacific Northwest. The mystery was just beginning. Cooper's anonymity was his greatest weapon. He was a ghost before he even committed the crime. No one suspected a thing as he prepared to make history. The passengers and crew were oblivious to the drama about to unfold. Cooper's calm demeanor masked the audacity of his plan. He was in control from the moment he stepped onto the plane. The stage was set for one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. In a few hours, he would vanish, leaving only questions behind. The world would never look at air travel the same way again. The legend of DB Cooper had begun. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed Florence Schaffner a note. She thought it was a phone number and ignored it. He leaned in. "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Florence read the message, clear, direct, and terrifying. Cooper opened his attaché case, revealing wires and red sticks. Real or fake, it didn't matter. The threat was real. He calmly stated his demands. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready in Seattle. He was specific. 2 main chutes, 2 reserves, all civilian gear. Florence relayed the demands to the cockpit. Captain Scott contacted air traffic control. The FBI and airline president ordered full cooperation. On the ground, agents scrambled to gather the ransom, $20 bills with traceable serial numbers, and parachutes from a local skydiving school. The clock was ticking. A man with a bomb was circling over Seattle. Cooper's knowledge of aviation and parachuting was impressive. This was no amateur. It was a meticulously planned operation. The crew and authorities followed his instructions to the letter. The passengers remained unaware, the tension mounting in the cockpit. Cooper's calmness never wavered. The fate of everyone on board rested in his hands. The world outside had no idea history was unfolding above them. The hijacking was underway, and there was no turning back. The legend of DB Cooper was in motion. Inside the cabin, Cooper was calm and polite. He insisted the flight attendants continue their duties, keeping the passengers unaware. He ordered another bourbon and soda, even offering to pay for the attendants' meal. He chatted with the crew, pointing out landmarks, showing local knowledge. He knew the Boeing 727's unique aft air stair, perfect for his plan. He rejected military parachutes, demanding civilian ones with manual ripcords. Cooper was in control, never cruel, always composed. For nearly 2 hours, the plane circled Seattle in darkness. The crew walked a tightrope, relaying his instructions and keeping him calm. The tension was immense, but the surface remained calm. Cooper's professionalism set him apart from any ordinary hijacker. At 5:45 p.m., Flight 305 landed in Seattle. The plane taxied to a remote, brightly lit section of the tarmac. FBI snipers watched, but Cooper ordered the window shades closed. An airline employee delivered the cash and parachutes. Cooper checked the contents, then released all passengers and 1 flight attendant. Only Cooper and 4 crew members remained. He ordered the plane refueled and laid out his flight plan. Low altitude, landing gear down, flaps at 15 degrees, unpressurized cabin. The instructions were bizarre but brilliant, perfect for a parachute jump. Cooper had turned the 727 into his getaway vehicle. The crew, with no choice, prepared for the strangest flight of their lives. The world watched, waiting for the next move. The tension on the tarmac was electric. At 7:40 p.m., Flight 305 took off again, heading south. Cooper told flight attendant Tina Mucklow to stay in the cockpit. Alone in the cabin, he prepared for his jump. The warning light flashed, the aft air stair was lowered. Somewhere over the forests of Washington, in a raging storm, Cooper stepped into the night. He leaped into darkness, $200,000 strapped to his body, vanishing without a trace. The pilots felt a bump as he left the plane. When the plane landed in Reno, the FBI found only a tie clip, 2 parachutes, and a ticket stub. Cooper was gone. He had hijacked a plane, extorted a fortune, and disappeared. The impossible had happened. The legend of D.B. Cooper was now reality. The world was left in awe and confusion. The manhunt was massive. Hundreds of soldiers, helicopters, and agents scoured the wilderness near Ariel, Washington. They found nothing. No parachute, no clothing, no money. The terrain was brutal. Dense forests, mountains, freezing rain. The FBI's investigation went nationwide, interviewing hundreds, analyzing every clue. Cooper's tie yielded a partial DNA profile and rare metal particles, hinting at a technical background. But every lead led to a dead end. Years passed, the case file grew, but Cooper remained a ghost. Did he die in the jump, or did he escape, blending back into society? No body, no wreckage, no answers. The mystery only deepened with time. Cooper's fate became the ultimate question. The legend grew as the evidence faded. D.B. Cooper had vanished, perhaps forever. With no body and no hard evidence, the D.B. Cooper case became a magnet for theories. Richard McCoy Jr., a Vietnam vet and skydiver, staged a similar hijacking but was caught and ruled out. Dwayne Weber confessed on his deathbed, but DNA didn't match. Kenneth Christensen, a paratrooper and airline mechanic, fit some clues but not the eyewitness descriptions. L.D. Cooper, a logger and comic book fan, was named by his niece, but the lead fizzled. Each suspect seemed promising, but none fit perfectly. The FBI chased thousands of leads, but the puzzle never came together. The case became a legend, with every new suspect adding to the myth. The true identity of D.B. Cooper remains elusive. The list of names is long, but the answers are few. The mystery endures, unsolved and irresistible. Cooper's story became a cultural phenomenon. He was the outlaw who vanished without a trace. The world kept searching, but the ghost stayed hidden. D.B. Cooper's identity is still America's greatest mystery. 9 years later, in 1980, a boy digging on the Columbia River found $5,800 in rotting $20 bills. The serial numbers matched Cooper's ransom. The discovery raised more questions. How did the money get there, miles from the jump zone? Geologists concluded the cash was likely buried, not washed downstream. Did Cooper lose it during the landing, or did he hide it and never return? The find reignited the investigation, but led nowhere. No other trace of Cooper or the rest of the money was ever found. In 2016, after 45 years, the FBI closed the case. The mystery was officially unsolved, but the legend only grew. D.B. Cooper became an American folk hero, the man who beat the system and vanished. Festivals, books, and documentaries celebrate his story. He represents the fantasy of escape and outsmarting authority. Whether he died in the fall or lived in secret, we may never know. The mystery is what keeps the legend alive. D.B. Cooper is more than a criminal. He's a symbol. The world is still captivated by his story. The case remains open in the public imagination. The legend of D.B. Cooper will never die.